Hey, it's Big Daddy Tazz and Wee Beasts, and we're gonna make. What are we gonna make today?
New York style sourdough bagels.
New York style sourdough bagels, but since we're not in New York, we're gonna make
Winnipeg style.
Winnipeg style. That's what we're gonna do. Gonna be some delicious. We've never done this recipe before, and Miss Christie's behind the counter. Say hey, Miss Christie.
Hello.
She is going to. Well, actually, she's gonna tell us what to do, and we're gonna do it. So it's gonna be just like every day. So it says here that they're crispy, chewy, fluffy New York style, Winnipeg style bagels with roasted garlic. Makes your everyday bagel and cream cheese. Takes it up a notch, is what it says. If I could read, I don't read very well. You're actually reading at a higher level than I am. So what's the first thing that we do, Miss Christie?
We're not doing the roasted garlic.
Oh, we're not going to do roasted garlic?
No, that's like a spread that they're using
instead
of
of cream
cheese.
So we're not going to do the roasted garlic. I might do roasted garlic spread later. I mean, I might make that myself, and I'll show you how to do that. Probably you open up a container that says roasted garlic spread, and you put it on. That'll be the easiest part that I have to do, really. Okay, so we have our starter. This is our starter. You can
bring that closer to. Oh, don't move that yet.
I didn't move it yet.
Okay.
No. There's the starter. It is. You can tell it's the starter because it's got an elastic on it. And it's got a little hat. It's got a little, the Bernstein Bears mom's hat is what that is, right? So that you got the starter.
Wait. So let's tell them what that elastic band actually means.
Okay, I don't know what that elastic band actually means. Christy, tell me what that means.
So last night when I prepped the starter so that it was fed and growing through the night, I put the elastic band on where it was.
Oh, where it started?
Yes.
Okay.
And if you take off the coffee filter top, now you can show them how much it has grown overnight.
Okay. So this is the big reveal. This is where we'll be back after this commercial message to see how this revealed. So, do we have commercials? No. No commercials?
It's low budget.
Oh, it's low, but okay. So you want me to take its hat off? Is basically
take the hat off.
And this is a coffee filter. You shouldn't tell them it's coffee filter. This is a highly integrated sourdough lid. Is what this is. So,
the reason why you use a coffee filter or a tea towel is because you want it to breathe. You want, there are yeasts floating in the air all over, and they can add to your mix.
Really?
So yeah, it's good.
Are you making that up?
I don't
think
so.
There's yeast floating in there. That's what happened here.
Well, that's how we captured the yeast to make our sourdough starter. Is just from the air, what's floating in the air.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't believe her. I'm gonna lie to you, but she's my wife, and she's true. So just take this off.
Yeah, you can just
pop
take
it right off.
The lid off.
Oh wow!
So it's over double what it was when I mixed it together.
It's almost like sorry, interrupt. It's almost like 2 1/3. Hey.
Yeah, which is good. Which is what you want to see in your starter. You want it to be doubling itself, if not more, than. It's very active and it's very happy and it's going to make your product rise for you.
It's a happy yeast?
Yeah, it's happy.
Oh, look, it's got a happy face in there. Sort of. Oh, no, it looks like a frowny face. That looks like a frown. Do you see the frowny part on it? Right there, there's a bit of a frown. I think this is a frowny yeast.
Oh.
If you're happy and, make some bagels. Yeah, it says it's good to go.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, hang on. There's yeast in the air. Did you see?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So so this is the starter.
That's the starter.
Can I take this elastic off now?
You can take that elastic off now.
That's it.
Just make sure you don't let the cats have it.
Well, we won't let the cats have it. We don't have cats. Yes, we do. We have 2 cats. Gracie and Cosmo.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have some maple syrup.
Yeah. The recipe actually calls for barley malt syrup, but we don't have that. So it suggests maple syrup as a substitute.
And what's that for? Is that to make it sweet? Or is it to activate does it do anything to activate the yeast or anything?
Don't think, the yeast are used to eating the flour. They're not really used to eating sugars. So
we're going to get some ADHD. If we add this to this is going to be like, this is awesome. I can't believe it's great.
I don't know. We'll probably eat some of the sugars, but I think it's more for the flavor.
Okay.
Yeah, just like a
just
mild
a
sweetness.
little bit of flavor to it. And then we got a cup of water, which I'm going to use 2/3 of that. And my mathematical means how many thirds are left over, Mr. Fraction? How many? if you have 3/3 and you take away 2/3,
1/3 left.
1/3 left. There you go.
Yeah, but you're not following your recipe. It's actually asking you to start with 3/4, not 2/3.
Oh, 3/4. So it's 75 cents.
Yeah.
Which is the 75 out of 100.
Yeah.
Highest grade ever got. Really, and that was just at staying at home. And some salt, which is just, is it special salt?
Oh, we use sea salt.
We
but-
use sea salt. It
yeah.
doesn't matter. Is salt salt? I think some salt has more
Yeah.
minerals or something in it.
Yeah,
Okay. This one has fish in it. So
I
that's
like the
awesome.
flavor of sea salt. So,
Really? I don't.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, if I get salt water in my mouth, no. That's it. And then just flour.
Flour.
In a giant container.
Yeah, we use all-purpose unbleached.
All-purpose unbleached flour.
Yeah.
And then that way you don't see roots, right? That's what happens if you have bleach. You see the roots of the flour. And we got a cup measurement, a teaspoon, and a tablespoon and a teaspoon.
Yeah.
Look at that. We are set. Okay, so what is the first thing that we have to do? Should I follow this, or you got it? You can tell me, right?
Yeah, I can help you.
Okay.
So basically, dump your starter into the bowl.
Well, all of it?
All of it.
Do I use a spatula or something, or does it matter?
Yeah, I would use a spatula.
Okay.
It's going to help you get
Now,
it out.
you shouldn't use. Were you telling me before, or am I imagining things that we shouldn't use, like a metal with this?
I've read that the yeasts don't like a lot of contact with metal. If it's a very short-term amount of metal, it's not going to damage it. Like when I mixed the starter last night, I used a regular spoon, which is metal. But I'm not holding it in a metal container.
Like you wouldn't put this in a metal container.
No.
Right? You would want to have it in a glass or right?
Plastic is fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this used to have pickles in it. So I'm sad we don't have any pickles left. So just scoop this all in?
Yeah, we're supposed to start with a cup. That's approximately a cup.
You think?
So,
a cup?
yeah.
Okay. So put a cup in here. Blech. It's like marshmallow. Remember that marshmallow stuff we used to get as a kid?
Yeah,
The
marshmallow.
marshmallow topping. Yeah, what's it called?
Marshmallow fluff?
Marshmallow fluff. Here, do you want to taste this? It tastes just like marshmallows.
I'll do.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me here.
Another way you can test your starter to see if it's ready to work with is that you can take a cup of water and float a little blob of the starter on top. If it floats and it's ready, it's got lots of air in it, it's telling you that it's ready.
Okay.
If it sinks, then you need to
Grab me another spatula there, kiddo, please.
you need to spend more time feeding and prepping your starter.
Okay. So if it sinks, it's not ready, and if it floats, it's got enough. It's been farting enough and the bubbly stuff and making it. I don't think that's the scientific term, but if
Okay,
it floats, it's
kinda.
ready.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Now, do I need to get all of this out, or is that
No,
enough?
that's fine.
That's fine. Okay. Here, taste it. It tastes just like. Taste it. Come on.
No.
I'll give you $1.
No.
You can smell it.
It smells
You
good.
smell it.
You know.
Do you trust me? I'm not gonna. I promise.
It smells good.
It smells like sour.
It's because it's sourdough.
Sourdough stuff.
Okay.
Oh, that smells awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Put those over to be washed later. Okay, so we got our cupish of stuff in here.
Yeah.
Now
you need to, I would mix in the 3/4 of a cup of water and the maple syrup.
should I use a spatula for that to mix it? Or am I...
You're gonna want something kind of strong.
Okay, I got a wooden spoon here.
No, it's probably
I've got one of these. We can use that. That's
No.
a sourdough thing.
No, nobody can see that, Tazzy.
Okay.
You're not on
We
camera.
got this.
Yeah. No, that's not gonna work.
Can I use my back scratcher?
Yeah, you can
Okay.
use one of your spatulas.
Okay.
It just needs to be strong.
Strong?
Yeah.
I got a wooden spoon.
The tall one with the green, the other one with the green is.
We have a
Use
lot
that
of
one. That one's
spatulas.
really strong.
We have a lot of spatulas because we break into houses at night. If you're missing your spatula, that's what happens.
Yeah.
So,
The reason why it needs to be strong is this one is, unlike bread dough, which is already hard enough to mix with a spatula, this one's going to be an even firmer dough because bagels are a different consistency
yeah,
than.
they're more dense, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
This one seems okay. I could use a wooden spoon.
no, because this will be easier to clean. The wooden spoon, it's got too many
Oh,
little
this
pores in it.
Sticks to it more.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So
3/4 of your water.
wait, hold it. 3/4 of the water.
Yeah.
I'll leave a quarter. How many quarters are left over, Kyler? 1/4. So I'm.
Because math.
Here, use your kid eyes. Tell me when it gets down to a quarter.
1/4 there. So keep
What
going.
quarters right there?
Yeah. Keep
Quarters
going.
right there. Okay.
You got somewhere to go. A little bit. Like. Yep.
It doesn't have to be
Check
exact.
the meniscus. Where's the meniscus? You know what a meniscus is?
Wait, there's still quite a bit. It's more in there.
Okay, you do.
Okay, we're good.
We're good? Okay, now we put that 1/4 aside.
Yeah.
In case we want to play a video game from 1985.
Sure.
And then just mix this in.
You might as well put in your maple syrup at the same
Okay,
time.
and all of
mix
this?
it all. No.
Not all of
You
it.
want 2 tablespoons of maple syrup.
Take it up. 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. Hold it.
Try not to overfill it
Yeah.
too much because so what you could do is you could put it into like a separate bowl if you're afraid you're going to
Okay.
over pour.
Just get a little tiny bowl, not you don't need a big one.
Stop being smarter than me. Okay, that's good. Oh, that's pretty good. 2 of those. 2 you said? Yeah.
2, yeah.
So that's the starter, 3/4 of a cup of water, and you can put a little bit more on that one, kiddo, because it's about this much from the top. Give it. A little bit more. A little bit more. Okay, a little less. A little less. That's perfect. Yeah. There you go. Oh, hold it. What are you doing? You let all the goodness come out, right? And then we'll put that in there. And now we mix it?
Now mix it up really good. And
Really
that way you know that the yeasts from the starter will be infused into all of the liquidy part and it'll be more likely to spread uniformly through all of the flour as well.
Okay, so what are we looking for here? Could I be using a whisk for this maybe?
No, just this it won't take long, just
No, I'm just curious. If they didn't have our collection of
I mean you could, but my goal is always to try to, not use every single implement in the kitchen because that just
Go
means
get me the stapler. We need the stapler. That's what we'll use to mix though. See, you and I have a different philosophy.
I know we
I
very
have-
much do.
Yes.
My philosophy. Hey, you stay out of this. You don't pick sides. When you're 16, you're going to want to borrow one of the cars eventually.
I didn't say whose philosophy was better.
You are a smart kid. I like you a lot. You may stay for the rest of the bagel makings. Okay, so what we want to do is get all the lumps out of here and make it so it's just a consistent sort of juice or what?
Yeah, you're just looking for a consistent looking.
Okay, so this is still got
Go.
lots of...
It doesn't have to be perfect. If it's got a few lumps
It's
in
going
it,
to be
that's fine.
pleasantly perfect in every way. Who's that? What show's that from? Christy, do you know what show that is?
Nope.
Really? I'll give you a hint. How about this? Chim chimney, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. I'd sing more, but then we'll have to pay for royalties for the song. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. I'm the little. What's wrong? What movie's that? You don't know, really? Dick Van Dyke. Pardon me?
I know
What
it.
did you say? Mary Poppins. There you go. You know what you win? Absolutely nothing. You win my love and adoration.
I knew what it was. I was just trying to come up with the most insane opposite answer that I could think of. But
Full Metal Jacket. It's Full Metal Jacket.
basically, that's what I was trying to think of something like that.
We have a lot of fun in this house as long as the camera's rolling. If not, we are at each other's throats. And right now, Kyler would have my head there and be.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got most of the lumps are gone. Kai, do you see any lumps in here?
Yeah. Well, no, not really.
No, not really. No.
Just bubbles.
Okay, look at all the bubbles here. Can the camera see that? I'll put this over here.
Just dumps it all over.
I just dump it all over the counter. Oh, well, certainly. Can the camera see that at all? There you go. Lots of bubbles, and that's the yeast being activated, or is that just me?
I think that's just from you mixing.
Oh, okay, never mind then.
Okay.
The same amount of bubbles when you go in the tub, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Now what do we add, lady?
Now you're going to add your 5 cups of flour and your 2 teaspoons of salt. And because it is a new recipe, we're going to follow this one exactly.
Exactly. So put
So
5, exactly 5. Like,
yeah, so when you heap in the flour into your cup, you're going to scrape off the top so that it's flat.
Flat. Okay. No, should we put the salt in first, or does it matter either way? Just
I would just put the flour in first
flour
and
in
then the
first
salt on
Okay,
top.
so we have 12? 12?
5.
5. Oh, that's close enough. I used to be an estimator for hydro, so
Use a straight edge. It's going to get a more precise.
it seems straight. What do I use for a straight edge, do you think?
A knife would work.
Oh, a knife would work. Look at you with all your fancy. Ever since the indictment, I'm not allowed to use knives.
Use the other side, Taz.
Yes. Okay. Okay, you guys stop picking on me. Seriously. Go get me a ruler. Okay. Oh, we already have a ruler. Christy. Just put it in?
Just put it in.
Okay. Oh.
That's 1.
1. Use your hands. 1. Now you got me super paranoid. This is 2. What if the person that made this recipe goes, oh, they'll let it oh, too much off. Maybe they made the recipe and they went, oh, you know what? Nobody will scrape it off, so we need that extra little bit. 3. I'm glad you're here because I'll be talking. 4. My mom used to always tap it. Like she'd go like that. She had one of those, I remember mom having one of these sifter things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This is 5? Okay,
Yeah.
you should taste this. It tastes like strawberries. Do you want to try it?
You try first.
Okay. It's delicious. You try it.
I'm good.
Oh man, when you were a kid, you would have fallen for that.
Yeah.
I liked it better when you were young and impressionable. Okay, so there's 5 in there, and then how much salt do we need?
We need 2 teaspoons.
Teaspoons?
Yes,
That's teaspoons. Okay, throw 2 teaspoons in there, mister. Please?
You just sprinkle it over top of the flour there, Kyler.
Does it need to be flat too?
It
right
doesn't need to be as precise. It's not going to change
this-
the consistency of your dough.
This
it's
is just for flavor, right? Not
just
as
for
opposed
flavor.
to actually.
It's for flavor
Okay.
country.
Okay. Oh, a little bit. Oh, stop. See how there's a big. Yeah, there we go.
Tilt your jar. It'll be
Yeah.
easier to.
There you go. Awesome, awesome. This tastes like icing sugar. Do you want to try it?
No.
You sure?
Anything you say, I don't trust you.
You don't trust me? You can have a raise in your allowance.
Okay.
Well, you shouldn't have trusted me because that for sure is not. You can have 3 times your allowance.
Yeah, I believe
What's
that.
3 times 0? Now what are we doing?
You're gonna stir it together.
Can I just use this again?
Yep,
I
please
didn't
do.
lick it.
It's good.
Okay. Murderby. Here, you want to start stirring, Kai? Is there a way to, like, do you stir from the outside in, or does it really matter? Just trying to get all the.
Just trying to mix it together.
You want to try this, Mr. Beast?
Yes, please.
Okay. If you go too much, it's gonna poof, right?
No.
No.
Which is okay because you still need to knead it. So if you
Okay.
get flour on the counter, that's fine. That's why we cleaned the counter before we started.
You did what? That sound is me having water. Squish it in the middle too, but yay!
It's such a weird looking.
It's isn't it? It seems like I would never eat that, right? And we'll keep it out. Do we need to keep some of this out for at least for dusting the?
Yeah.
Okay. You're saying yeah. You know what you're doing.
Because I made bread with Christy before.
Oh, I made bread too, and we filmed it, so you weren't on the film, so you don't exist. Yeah, it's weird. You look at that and you're thinking, I would never eat that, right? When you're making stuff. Oh, now we're gonna have to add that same amount back because all the bagels are gonna be wrecked because you got 0.00444786.
I'll put this whole thing on your face if you keep calculating.
Quiet it. I'll put your face in there and make gorilla cookies. That's what I'll do. That's from a TV show I used to watch called Sanford and Son. It was hilarious. Fred Sanford would be like, Estelle, why don't we go to... No, it's Esther. Esther, why don't you go into the kitchen, put your face in the dough, and make some gorilla cookies? And Esther would be like, Fred, you ain't nothing but a low-down heathen. And then they would argue. It was a funny show.
This looks fun.
It is funny.
Okay, okay.
My turn? Oh, no. Okay, it's really, really dry and thick.
Yeah.
Okay. Try to work in as much of the flour as you can, and
Yeah.
you can add your quarter cup of water a little bit at a time.
Okay, let me just get this. Nope, hang on for a sec, kiddo. Let me just get it all around. Yeah, because there's a lot of dry flour at the bottom. So just pour a little bit at a time.
A little bit at a time, yeah.
In a
Keep
circle,
stirring,
Nick.
keep stirring.
In a circle. Okay, get in the middle, please.
Kyler, if you want to just kind of step,
Step this way here.
yeah.
There you go.
There you
Or actually do it from the other side. That work for you? That way we can...
Yeah.
Go. So, give me a little bit more right in the middle. Yeah, there we go. Can I be using my hands instead? Because this doesn't
Yeah,
seem to
if that's what you want. Did you wash your hands?
I did wash my hands.
Okay.
Yes, I did. Okay, so just... Because there's still a lot... Oh, see, there's the wet stuff on the bottom here. On the top and the... Okay, give me some more right down in that. Okay, thanks. Okay, give me some more right. That's all there is?
Yep.
If you want, you can put it out onto the counter and start really squeezing it together.
So switch that out of the way. So pop it out on the counter now?
Yeah.
Okay,
You probably don't need to add flour at this point.
No, can I just empty the whole flour?
Empty the whole thing. Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Man, can you please put that over? So it's... Does that look like it's supposed to be like that? Dry?
Just work it a little bit and
Okay.
Looks super stringy.
Yeah, it's stringy and pretty dry. We'll figure it out. I don't know, I've never made bagels before. I thought bagels came in
if
a
it's
bag.
still not coming together, like it still is dropping off a lot of, so
Yeah.
we're gonna add a little dribble more of water in at a time.
Get from the... Yeah, there's all this flour still left here.
Okay.
I'm looking for any wet parts in the middle I can... Okay, so a dribble at a time?
Yeah, just a little bit
What's
at
the
a
best way?
time.
Should I add it to this or just add it to this stuff?
I don't know.
I don't know, just a little bit. Should we use room temperature or cold water? It doesn't matter.
The recipe calls for cold water.
Okay.
Oh, I
So-
thought room temp.
That's fine.
Okay, so it's still pretty cold. That's why I asked.
Yeah, room temperature.
A little bit more water, do you think?
Yep.
Okay. Here, put it right there. That's good. Thanks. Yeah, this is kind of wet right in here, so we'll get all this stuff and mix it right in. Ooh.
Maybe you can make a little crevice and pour the water in the crevice.
That's a good idea too. Okay, so that's good, I think, because we've got lots of wetness here still. So, this is how we used to clean our counters normally, isn't it? What we do?
No.
No. Okay, just asking. So,
That tells me you need to be in charge of cleaning the counters more often.
you probably never let me in charge of cleaning stuff. So you'd be like, "We're moving."
I would totally let you be in charge of cleaning stuff.
Oh, you shouldn't
You
be.
just
Let
have
me
to-
tell- One time when I was in my own apartment, I vacuumed once, and everybody thought I was moving. So. Okay, so it's not sticky like when we make normal sourdough.
No. I would give it a dribble more.
Okay, here, just give it just a little bit. Is that enough of a drill, do you think?
Try it.
Did you put any on there? Okay, that's good.
Oh, that sound.
Sounds like you chewing gum. That might have been too much water.
It's probably fine.
Wow, this is like so dense compared to the normal sourdough that we make.
Mm-hmm.
Making most of this stuff. Do we need this stuff? Okay, so now it's this sticky.
Okay.
Now now how much do we need to?
We need to knead it for 20 minutes.
20 minutes? Okay.
Yeah.
So why don't you go turn on the timer on the oven, please, for 20 minutes, and then I'll keep kneading this for the 20 minutes, and then we'll.
Hit the 10
This?
on you see where
Oh.
Yeah.
and hit it again. There you go.
Okay.
That makes sense.
I'll keep kneading this for 20 minutes. As far as you know, I'm not going to trade this off for Christy to do any of it, and we'll come back and we'll show you what our next few steps are. How's that?
Sounds good.
Cool. So we've been kneading this for 20 minutes, almost 20 minutes. Why do we have to knead this for so long, Chris? Or why do we need it at all?
You're basically trying to take it from that big shaggy mess to something that is kind of smooth and consistent, and you want to work the glutens in it so that it will trap the air as the yeasts eat and create their gases.
Okay. And the longer that you let this sit, the more sour it'll get, right? The more
Correct.
that. Okay.
Yeah.
So, is that what we used to? Here, give it a spray in there because it's not sticking to it.
So
Okay.
we've added some extra water that was
Yeah.
not called for in the recipe because it was so dry it was cracking.
Yeah.
So
And
we
it
want it
wasn't
to be a really dense dough, but we still want it to be elastic, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
One
we,
little spray.
as we've been going, we've been just kind of giving it little spritzes from the water bottle, which
Yeah, that's right. Okay. It's also the water bottle we use. Is that the same water bottle we use when the cats are doing things wrong?
Yeah.
Okay. Kai, do you want to go shut that off, please?
so that's our 20 minutes of kneading.
Yeah, and I did it all myself. Not once did Miss Christie come and do that. So. Wash your hands now that you pressed the thing on the. Okay, so that should be good enough.
That should be good.
Good.
Yeah. You're
Okay.
going to shape it into a ball
Okay.
and cover it with a bowl to rest for 20 minutes.
So
And
make
put
sure
the
that,
seam side down.
yeah, you want that to stick together though, right? Or does
I
it
mean,
matter?
just
Shape it into a ball like
Yep.
that.
shape it into a ball.
There you go. Haha. See what's happening? I'm having a ball. We're having a ball. Okay, that's good. Okay, we're gonna let this rest for 20 minutes while Kyler has a timeout. And Beast, So we'll be back in about 20 minutes. It'll seem like nothing to you. Okay? Okay. Alright. There we go. It's been 20 minutes. I stood here the entire time. Not really. So now what do we do, Chris? It has not done anything.
That's okay. I wasn't expecting it.
I expected it to be like, bagels! Is there more to this than that?
There's more to this.
Okay, well, we'll use that over there. Now what are we doing now?
Now we need to divide the dough into 8 equal pieces for large bagels or 10 equal pieces for smaller ones, and then shape them into a small ball.
Okay, so what we should do then is cut them into, what do you want to cut them into?
I say 8 for large bagels.
You want large bagels? What if we did like 10 for smaller bagels? Why don't we do that?
Well, I mean, if you make large bagels, you can just like cut it in half and only eat half of it if you don't want a big bagel.
She's got
Fair
a
enough.
point.
Okay, so just I'm assuming just use a knife.
Yeah.
Okay. So how does it really matter? Like just can I squish it? I should have asked that.
Sure.
Okay, gonna cut it.
You
into
have
8.
as much experience with this particular recipe as I do.
Okay, so I'm gonna cut it into 8. So there, and then there. Does that look about even, Kyler?
Yeah.
This? Okay. I guess I could just cut them like this, right? Do they have to be 100% equal or close?
As close as you can get them, but
Okay.
that just means it'll bake evenly,
Yeah, that's okay.
and there won't be people fighting over the size of bagels.
Well, if we had 10 bagels, we wouldn't have to. Yeah, we wouldn't have to. Okay. Want to roll that into a bowl there, or a ball? A bowl. Make it into a bowl.
This isn't pottery class.
Pardon me?
This isn't pottery class.
Yeah. And I will always love you.
It's only slightly disturbing.
Well. There we go. Ish.
The dough looks really nice on the inside.
So just like this, or just it doesn't matter, just get them in a bowl?
I don't know.
Oh,
Make it
okay.
into a ball.
Make them into a ball. Make sure that there's no seam at the bottom, right? Squish the seam together. There we go. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. Does it matter that they're not sticking together very well?
No.
No? Okay.
Just
Put them in the balls then.
put them into balls.
Okay, put them in the balls. Don't worry about it. I already got 2 done. What's going on with you? What's wrong with you? It's not a ball.
And this is?
That's the letter C. Right now, Christy would have had all these done and already ready to go.
Redoing your ball.
That's sort of a ball. They're all about the same size. This one's a little bit bigger. This one looks like a bum. There you go. There. Okay, and then spread them out, right? They don't, when they rise.
They're not going to rise very much. We're only going to leave them for 10 to 15 minutes
So
here.
10 to 15 minutes, so
So
let's
if you
cover them.
put them closer together, it'll be easier to cover them.
Okay.
Where'd you drop the towel?
I'll put the towel here. This is a clean towel, you can tell, because it's clean. And we're going with the fall theme. That's what we're doing.
Okay.
Okay, and so that's about it?
Yeah, we're just going to let them sit and rest for 10 to 15 minutes. We'll go with 15. And then after that, we're going to shape them into bagels.
Shape them into bagels. Okay.
Yep.
So I'll stand here exactly like this for 15 minutes and 10 to 15, you said?
Yeah,
10 to
maybe we'll go for like 3 hours or
3
something.
hours. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I'll do the jokes. I'll be here for 15 to 20 minutes or 10 to 15, whichever comes first, one of those through. And we'll be back to you in a couple shakes. Yeah, that's what we'll do. You have to stay here too. There we go. We've almost been almost 15 minutes. Oh, to stand in here for the whole time. I just had an idea. Did you hear that? Do you want to go set that off, that dinger off? Miss Christie?
Mm-hmm.
Ta-da! They look exactly the same. They are still not bagels. This recipe is wrecked. I give up. We're done. Okay. What do we do next?
To shape the bagels, you need to flatten the small ball of dough into a disc, and you can either use your fingertips to roll it into a log, and then once you've got a log around 8 inches long, you can wrap the log around your 3 middle fingers with the ends overlapping by 2 inches.
Holy smokes.
Okay, you can do that part, or you can basically punch a hole, like kind of flatten it into a disc and punch a hole in it with your thumb.
Flatten it into a disc?
Yeah.
And then punch a hole. Like, how big of a disc are we talking about? Like that? Or,
Yeah, basically you're going to stretch it out a little bit.
Okay.
So.
Okay. There. There you go. That's. And now poke a hole.
Poke a hole in it with your thumb.
I can use we could use the handle of a wooden spoon.
No.
Nope, that's flat.
Just use your thumb.
Use your finger?
Yep.
Okay. That's your thumb.
You're going to
Yeah,
want
she
to
said
pick it up and
Yeah.
punch it through with your thumb, because you're going to want to stretch it out.
Okay. Okay, poke a hole. Oh, I see. And then now just stretch it out?
Yeah, stretch it out a bit so that the hole doesn't just reform.
Oh. Also, the amount of laughs I'm getting right now from Christy. So just stretch it out like a donut, okay?
Yep.
And then, so do that to all of these, okay?
Yep.
Okay, ketchup, kid. Which is one of your favorite things to have. Ketchup, kid.
So what the instructions here were trying to tell you is the more traditional way of creating a log and then wrapping it around your hand and overlapping it a bit, and then you roll it gently with your palm, like to seal the two seams together.
Yeah.
But that's a pretty fancy technique, and
Yeah, here's the. You can take and roll it, or you can just go. Poke the hole through the bottom, and then make a bagel shape. Oh, this is all sticking on the.
it might give you a more consistent bagel shape, because you see yours are kind of lumpy and bumpy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that particular method might be a little bit more consistent, but.
Yeah, we're not here for consistency, because you know what?
It's all going in the same place.
It's going the same place. It's coming out the same oven ways, right? Well, I guess I should have said that before. I said just all coming out the same way. It's not what I meant, but I meant just like the...
Consistency leads to a more...
Well, it'll bake more evenly, right?
Yeah.
And things like that. So
Yeah.
we'll
but-
try to... Okay. So
Since this is kind of an experiment,
there we go. Here's what our bagels look like.
let's stretch them out a little bit more, you guys.
Like-
Because you see how they're already closing up?
Okay, so stretch them. You want a much bigger hole in the middle?
For now.
Okay.
Because they're going to rise and puff out, right? So give them a nice, good
It's
stretch.
crusty on the edges.
It's crusty on the edges, yeah. This one already looks like Homer Simpson has bitten the... Stretch. Stretch. Squish, stretch.
Don't squish them, please.
Okay, I thought you said this before. No squishing.
No
Do
squish.
not squish, just stretch the holes. Stretch them out. Stretch them out. Stretch them out. Doodle-doo-doo, doodle-doo-doo-doo. Remember, like when we were kids, we'd go like that. No. The look on your face behind the camera is like, I could have done this all myself. Okay,
And I regret my choices of letting them try.
that's exactly it. There. They look exactly like bagels.
Okay.
Now what do we do?
Now you need to put them on a tray. So you're supposed to line a baking sheet with parchment paper and sprinkle it generously with flour.
Like this one?
Like that one.
Do you want more generously than that? That's not generously. That's sort of like, no, I don't want to.
That's parchment paper. It's probably not going to stick to it.
Okay, so then put them on.
Yep.
Does it matter how far away? Just like, so that they're not going to get stuck together probably, hey?
Are you gonna need 4 in a row, or
Oh, I guess, yeah.
mathematically speaking?
Oh, you got another one in your hand. I was like, hey, this isn't working out. Put the little one here. And we'll move that one over. There you go. There. Now we eat them.
Nope.
Is it eating time yet?
No.
Okay.
So now that you've done that, you need to let them proof for 2 to 2.5 hours until
What?
puffy.
Okay, hang on. Say that again. Now we gotta have to. Now that we've taken the holes, and you want to make sure that there's a good size hole in it, right? Like not just a. If you just like that, it would probably just back together, right?
Yeah, because
Okay.
they're going to puff up.
Okay,
So-
they're gonna pop up. This one's hole's a little tiny already. I see what you're saying. They're already starting to fill in. Okay, so let's put them on the sprinkled baking sheet. Put them on the
You're going
sprinkled.
to tear that one apart.
I didn't.
You almost did.
Almost did. On strong. I've been working out.
So I think what we'll do is we'll do our warm oven trick because it's kind of cold in the kitchen here
Okay.
today. So
Oh, sorry, I didn't finish what I was going to say. So you put it on parchment paper, dust the parchment paper liberally with flour. Make the holes big enough so that they're not going to back together, and then they have to proof for 2 to 2.5 hours.
yeah.
So, and our kitchen is a little bit cold, and what we're going to do is we'll turn the oven on, we'll preheat it for a little bit, and then shut it right off and just put it in a warm, just sort of a...
Yeah, I usually turn it on just to whatever temperature, like 350, and set the timer for a minute or two,
Just to keep,
just to get the element warmed up,
Okay.
and just a little bit of warmth inside the oven, and so
Okay.
yeah,
So what I've heard about this is we need a warm elephant. That's what I've heard.
yes,
Okay, so we need to get a warm elephant. So we're going to do that. We'll get the, if you want to just follow me over to the, that's it. So we're going to turn to bake, and then 350, and then set the timer for 1 minute, and then warm up this oven. Okay, Christy always says check inside, because sometimes that's where we hide Christmas gifts. So we're going to get that going for about a minute, shut it off, put them into, put the our bagels of various shapes into the oven for about 2.5 hours, and then we'll come back and show you what they look like. That's what we'll do. But I'm not going to stand here for 2.5 hours because that's just not what I'm going to do. Okay, so here we go. These are all proofed and puffy now and ready to go. And Miss Christie, I saw you take it was a bowl of water and you plopped one in and it floated.
yeah, it floated. That's what the recipe said would tell us when they were proofed.
Yeah, if it's proofed and if they float, they're ready to go into the next stage, which is the boiling. I
Yeah.
guess we are going to boil our bagels.
Yeah.
Oh, boil our bagels!
They
So-
didn't expand very much
No, these ones
visually, but they still they look like they're good size. They puffed up a little bit.
puffed
They'll
up a
puff
little bit, yeah.
up a little bit more when we bake them. The recipe also tells you to instead of like what we're going to do is we're going to boil them and cook them in the same day as we made them, but the recipe suggests that you cover them in plastic wrap once they're done proofing and put them into your fridge overnight and bake them the following day.
Okay.
And
But
the reason why they do that is that the longer that they sit there, the longer that the yeasts have a chance to eat and create the acids that create the sourness. But
So the longer you let them sit, the more sour they're going to be. But because I'm a big baby and I don't like them to be too sour, and neither does somebody else, we're gonna proof them and cook them in the same day.
yeah, we're gonna try. It's
gonna
all
try.
an experiment because this
It's
is
all
a
an
brand new recipe to us.
Oh, for sure.
So, yeah, so we're going to boil them for just a couple of 15 to 20 seconds on each side.
Yeah.
And then if we want to dip them into topping like sesame seeds.
Yeah, we'll do that straight off. We'll get them, dip them into the. I've got you've got your sesame seeds here that you want me to do, and I've got some. I'm going to put some of this on it. It is roasted garlic and pepper. So I'm going to just sprinkle that on. I'm not going to put it in the dish because you put it in, it's just so fine that I'm pretty sure it'll just coat the whole top, right?
Yeah, I think
Well, we
so.
got our water into a rolling boil right now, which we need to do, and I need to add. What do we need to add?
A tablespoon of baking soda.
This is actually a baking powder package, but it's soda inside, so we can keep it fresh. It's soda. We can keep it fresh. So we need a tablespoon of this.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't. There you go. A tablespoon of that. Oh. Bubble, toil and trouble. And then we are going to need a tablespoon of brown sugar. Not as dramatic, that one. Okay, Mr. Man will take that out. Otherwise he'll be like, hey, where's the tablespoon? And I'll get to this, Mr. Wee Beast. Now, we're going to stir up our concoction. Babble, toil and trouble. I have newt. And newt have I. Something, chicken thigh. And then we're going to take this in here, and I'm going to do it like, I'm going to drop them in so that, and be careful when you're doing it, obviously, so you don't splash all over yourself. But we're going to do this, and we're going to count to 20 seconds. Stuck on the bottle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Take over.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, your turn.
15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and then flip it over.
Yep.
Oh, flip it over. Flip. There we
Careful.
go. Yeah. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Take it out of here. Drain the water off. Put it right in here. And then just flip it over and put it back in the pan, right?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I should use a pair of tongs. I think that's what I'm going to use. Pair of tongs. Try not to
I would.
wreck this. There. One done. And then we'll do another one. Here, Weebies, can you hold those, please? Sir. We'll get this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 20. Oh. And flip it over. Burdo. 1. Oh, that didn't flip over very well. Flip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay. Put that in here. And I'll take those away from you because you sound like castanets. Flip it over, put it on here. And then we'll get another one. Miss Christie made a good point, is that I'm doing these individually because 6, 7, in your head, 8, 9, 10. We're doing these ones individually so that when, otherwise I get distracted and then there'll be, turn it over. Weebies gave me the thumbs up. And I get distracted, and then if I pull one out and then start talking to you, then the other one is going to be floating around there, and it'll be all done, and it'll be a donut, I guess.
Yes, you can use a much larger
15?
pot
Yeah.
and do a couple at a time, especially if you're not planning to do any toppings on them.
Okay, so this one, I'm not going to put this one in quite yet, but I'm going to sprinkle this on this one here. Just sprinkle, 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 sprinkle. Not very good aim. They say less is more. Unless you're like on a paycheck or something. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You counting? Perfect. Weebies is going to count, and I'm going to do a couple more of these, and then after this one, I think what we'll just do is cut away. Do
Flip.
flip. Okay. Oh, flip over. Hey, flip over. You flip. Ow. Flip over. Thank goodness I have these I could have used. Yes, it's counting. We have to count all the time. Good. Oh, there we go. They said use the slotted spoon to make sure you get a lot of the water off, obviously. So I'll put this one here. Pop it in the corner and sprinkle some more of my deliciousness on here. See, if I was a fancy chef, I'd be way up here. Like, a couple more of this one. I was gonna go bam, but then Miss Christie would be like, "I just cleaned the kitchen," and I'd be like, "I know, I didn't." So what we're gonna do is, you're counting?
Yep.
Okay. We're gonna cut away and get these all finished up, and then we're gonna throw them into the oven and bake them. So I'm gonna be back in a little. Oh, you need to say something?
The oven should be preheated to 450
That's
degrees.
right. The oven should be preheated to 450 degrees. And then we'll be back in a little bit. Bye! Now let's just put it in here. Let her go. Weebeast is counting to about 20 seconds, 15 to 20 seconds.
Flip.
And we'll flip it. It's better to use the tongs to flip.
We figured that part out. So you don't have to.
Kind of, yes. And by the way, don't use the tongs to take it out because the water will travel down the tongs. Just my.
Good. You can take it out.
And take it out, okay. And we use a slotted spoon. And then we just put it on here for some deliciousness. Just like Mom used to make if she worked in a bagel factory. Okay, so what we're doing now is we're going to throw these into a preheated oven at 450 degrees for how long, Miss Christie?
Actually, you have to turn the temperature down now.
Oh, turn the temperature down? Okay,
Yeah.
so let's go
To 400.
to 400, done. And ironically, it's already done.
Yeah.
And so we put them in the oven.
Yeah.
And
For 18 to 20 minutes.
18 to 20 minutes?
Or until golden on top.
Okay, so I'm going to check at 15. Because our oven seems to cook quickly. So we'll put them in at 15. We'll check them at 15, add 3 or add 5 depending on what we think.
Sounds good.
Perfect. Awesome. I'm excited. Oh, I'm almost. Oh, I smell it. It's ready to go. Yeah. So we'll check on them. Oh, look at this. They are. The instructions were golden brown and puffed up. Right, Miss Christie?
Yeah.
They are definitely golden brown and puffed up.
Those look delicious.
They do look delicious. So just put them on here. And you said just transfer them onto here?
Yeah, that way the air will get to the bottom of them.
Okay. Oh, they feel like bagels. They look like bagels. They look like bagels that I should have perhaps made the holes bigger. I wonder if somebody told me to do that. Look at that. It looks pro. Of course, Mr. Weebies came up with a great idea. Oh, we should have done brown sugar and cinnamon. So we'll have to do that when we do this tomorrow.
We're not doing it again tomorrow.
Oh, so tonight then. Awesome. Are we gonna do another batch tomorrow?
Not tomorrow. No,
Are you
we
sure?
don't. We don't have any.
Like 100%?
100%.
She said maybe. That's what I hear. I hear maybe. Oh. There we go. Should we dig into these, or do we have to let them cool for a bit, right?
Let them cool so that
We'll let
they
them cool
don't
for a bit.
burn your
Okay,
tongue.
Let's see what's going on here. This bagel, looks so very happy to be a bagel. There you go. This one looks like you when you were a baby, got out of the shower that one time. Oh, a little bum. So what we'll do is we'll let these cool, and then we'll come back to you, and we'll cut them up, and then you can watch us eating them. How's that? I'm excited. Are you excited?
Yeah.
Perfect. I'm done talking now.
Tazzy,
What?
what are you doing?
Duh. Being impatient. I want to try these. Okay, so here's our end product. They feel and they sound like bagels. So let's get cutting into one. I'm going to cut into mine because I'm greedy. I said to Chrissy, we need a bagel cutter. She goes, you are the bagel cutter. Oh, look at that. Can you see? That looks. Look at how soft. That's awesome. Oh, I put some cream cheese on mine, so I will get a. What do you want on yours, Mister? You want me to cut your one too?
Yes, please.
Okay. Here, a little plate out. Plate for you, Miss Christie. You want a plate as well?
Yes, please.
Okay. Get you. Oh, want to get a shot of this here? Check this out. Just listen to this. Ready? There you go. Well, that's a bun because the hole didn't go all the way through, but that's cool. Mr. Kyler, what are you going to have on yours?
Some butter, some brown sugar, and cinnamon.
Butter, brown sugar, and cinnamon. Okay, so I'll get this all. Oh, this is one of my favorite things ever. Look at this. Put it down here. La 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 la. Warm bagels with butter on them. Oh, yes. Oh, and butter on my thumb. That's even better. So here's for you on your plate. Miss Christie, you want one of these ones?
Yes, please.
There you go. I'm sure there's a proper way to cut bagels, but I just did this. You want some cream cheese on yours?
Yes, please.
So I'm going to use a clean knife for cream cheese. Only because people are watching, otherwise it would be like, oh, that's fine. Oh, so there we go. There's the, oh, your one, your biggest, sorry, your bagel's not cut the best because, just like me,
You can be more generous with the.
I could be more generous?
Yeah.
Yeah, but. You want like lots?
Yep.
Okay, well then we just have to clean the hole up there. Birdie. There we go. It's hard because the cream cheese is melting on the. This is why I can't work at a deli that has bagels. I'm not very good at the cream cheese spread. Okay. There you go. One for you. You got one already, Kai? Have you tasted it yet?
Nope.
Okay, well, taste it all at once. There you go. Yes, oh, need a plate for Miss Christie, please. There you go. For you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And me. Have some cream cheese, cream cheese, cream cheese. I'm excited to try these. Cream cheese, cream cheese. Ready? Bon appetit. Bon appetit. Oh my gosh. Well,
Oh, that's good.
considering I have cream cheese all over my goatee. These are really good. This is really, really good. And that's, you know what, this, red pepper and garlic is a really good choice. How the toast?
Delicious.
Delicious? Mm-hmm. Kai? You should probably give me a little piece of that to try. Okay, I'll just take this one. Hey. Oh, that's awesome. He's going to take a bite of mine. He's not going to like it. Does it go well with the sweet and the sour? So there you go. New York style, Winnipeg style, sourdough bagels. I think it's a hit. I think we should do these again. Mm-hmm. And then, so what we'll do is we'll post a recipe or a link or a PDF. I'm not sure how to do that, but we'll do that with this link. And if you live in Winnipeg and you want some sourdough starter, we can make sure that I get some of that sort of first come first serve. I don't know how that works. I just made an offer that maybe Miss Chrissy can't fulfill, but it doesn't affect me. So that's what we'll do. So thanks a lot. There's Big Daddy Tazz and Miss Christie and Wee Beast. Thank you so much. And yeah, I'm gonna eat this. So you're on your own.